In any village life, one of the important events that takes place is the village fete, the village carnival, and a lot of people, of course, turn up for something like this and have no idea of the amount of work which goes into organising it beforehand. That takes committed people that want to make a difference for their community. Now, in the case of the Eaton with Hulme Walfield garden party, which takes place on July the 13th, you have a number of ladies. I've just sat through their meeting. It was really interesting. It was carried out with ruthless efficiency. A wonderful spreadsheet, multicoloured. And they just went, yeah, next point, done that, who's doing that, clarify this. Okay, now, meeting's ended, 3/4 of an hour, we've got it sewn up. I think they ought to start training certain parish councils. Because I've never sat on a parish council meeting which is brief and as efficient as that one was. It's certainly more efficient than the celebrated organisation of the event in the Vicar of Dibley, which I'm sure you will all remember. No, they're a lot better than that. So I've asked 3 of the ladies that are involved in that working party to just talk a little bit about the difference that they make for village life. So I'm going to start with the lady who was clearly in charge, ask her to introduce herself and just tell us a little bit about the way in which you set about organising this event on July the 13th.
Okay, so the Eaton garden party takes place on the grounds behind the church and is always the second Saturday in July. So it's been running for, I believe, over 50 years. We have the crowning of the Rose Queen and now Rose King too. And it is a very typical and traditional village fete. So I'm the chair of the garden party committee and I have been for, this is the 3rd year, and I was sort of dragged into this probably about 6 years ago by Sonia Walfield, who had been organising the village fete for years and years, and then obviously Sonia's drifted off and I've ended up with this job, yeah. But it's really good and we all get on. I only got told off once tonight, but it runs like clockwork because we know what we're doing, we know what we want it to look like, we know what it looked like last year, and we try to sort of improve on every year, yeah.
So just tell me a little bit about this incredible spreadsheet. I mean,
that's down to Sue, not me. Yeah.
We've got Sue here. Yeah. Sue, tell us about the spreadsheet.
I love spreadsheets.
Yeah.
You love spreadsheets, but this one is not just any ordinary spreadsheet, is it? You know, it's multicoloured. Yeah. It's got jobs to be done, sub-jobs to be done. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, the point was that Debbie and I had both had no experience of this, and I just wanted to be sure that we were going to capture everything that needed to be captured. So many people in the village who've been organising and running this event for so long, and they all knew exactly what they were doing, but so many of them have stood down, and we needed to be sure that we didn't miss anything.
What I did notice, just sitting here quietly in the corner watching you all going through that spreadsheet, was the way in which younger people who have come into the village or the surrounding area were coming in to pick up the reins, if you like.
Yes, that's
which
right.
is a sign of a very healthy community. And of course we mustn't forget this is actually organised not by Eaton Village or Parish Council specifically, it's organised by the Parochial Church Council. And that's a sort of an area which is quite wide really, isn't it? What sort of area does the PCC cover?
Its footprint, I don't think, is quite the same as the parish councils, but it's pretty much Eaton, Hulme Walfield, and I think some of the booths comes under
I think it does.
Hulme Walfield, or what used to be the old Hulme Walfield parish. Eaton with Hulme Walfield became an entity as one parish a few years ago.
So it's at least 3 churches in effect working together?
The two.
No,
Two
yeah.
churches.
Yeah.
Few Walfield
The chapel, yeah, the next
and
one.
Eaton
Yes.
Church.
There is a chapel at Somerford Booths, but that sits in Asbury Parish.
So it's organised through the church, but it involves people, including new people, and one of them is sitting here now.
I grew up nearby in a village that had a garden party like this every year, so it's a bit of nostalgia for me coming in from inner city Bristol and being able to now join in such lovely garden parties as this. I'm also mum of the new Rose Queen to be crowned this year, so it's definitely wanting to do my bit, and also hopefully bringing in other family members as well to help.
Well, certainly, I mean, given the amount of development that we've had locally, it is so good that you're managing to draw in people that have come into the area, because it's certainly true that in this area we welcome the people that are coming in. In some rural areas you can get a sort of, oh, what are these people coming in, oh, these new houses and everything else.
Yeah.
I certainly know that the parish councils around here, you know, they've accepted their lot. And their lot is an awful lot of houses. In Congleton alone, it's 3,500 new houses. Now, in this area, it must be easily, I would think, 500, 600, if not 1,000 houses.
We're up to about 750 new homes within Eaton and Hulme Walfield.
Which is about
Ecclesiastical
2,000, 2,500 people, isn't it?
It could be, yeah. But all the time there are new people coming in. There's a new development just started up and is now being populated. And there's going to be the one on Barn Road. That will fall within Hulme Walfield.
Indeed.
The issue that we have is communicating with people. Is knowing how to talk to people, how to get in front of people, to let them know that this is part of their community.
Yeah.
So do you work with the parish councils as well, and can they help through their newsletters and things like that?
Well, we would hope so, yes.
You'd hope so, and local newspapers?
Yeah, I think really the number of new houses within what used to be Eaton is not very great. But I think there are two estates, and maybe the one that's in between. But the bulk of the newer ones are all within Hulme Walfield.
Hulme Walfield, yes, that's certainly true. That's certainly true.
So your sister lives in one, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's in one of the new builds that's still classed as Eaton, just on the other side of the bypass, really.
Yeah.
Opposite the new Red Row, where there's going to be a school being built at the moment, I believe.
Well, there's going to be a school. It's definitely not being built at the moment. It's subject to funding.
Oh, I see. I thought they'd started.
Subject to far more detailed plan, and don't hold your breath for a couple of years. I think.
Right.
So, yes, there is a site for a school.
Yes.
Generously donated, it says on the billboards.
I bet it does.
With a little bit of arm twisting.
The baby that came tonight, who's only just been born, it's possible that by the time he's going to school, it will be built.
Yeah.
4 years.
I think that's a realistic time.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the organisation of this wonderful event. What sort of things do you have to think about these days? It can't be easy. You know, you give up a lot of your time to make a difference for the community.
We do, but like you say, we're a well-oiled machine, so we have 4 specific meetings. 1 3 nights before, just to sort of wrap up any loose ends, and we know what needs to be covered in what time frame. So we know that all the licences and the small lottery licence and the alcohol licence all has to be organised well in advance. But the main thing about this is that this is the only big church fundraiser that we have. So we have a one-off shot, you know, per year to make as much money as we can, whilst obviously the main objective isn't to make money. The main objective is for the community to come together and enjoy themselves.
I think
if we can make a few quid, that's great as well.
Yeah.
But in this particular event coming up this year, it's not money which is going to go into the church as such. Very often these events are to save the church roof or get some new pews in, subject to a faculty that takes about 25 years to sort out or whatever. But in this instance, you're actually supporting the renovation of the approach road, which is in a bit of a sorry state, which leads to the community hall, which, although it's within the area of the church, is available to the whole of the village and the community.
Absolutely. So the parish hall that we're in now, obviously it's used every week for children's parties, it's for brownies, it's for dog training classes, it's used for loads of things, coffee and company.
Yeah.
We do quite a few fundraisers in here as well. So we have, after the plough service, we have a lunch, harvest. But obviously the road into the parish hall is absolutely shocking. You know, everybody is full of potholes and it does need some renovation. So yeah, we're hoping that we can raise some money.
So that's a big effort to actually make the approach, because the parish hall itself is
beautiful.
A very wise move that was carried out how many years ago? 10, 15 years?
It was 2014, the major renovation, because the building itself is very old.
Yeah.
The car park is where the vicarage sat, and this building was the stable block. And I know that there are people of my generation who remember it being not much more than a stable block when the village youth club used to be held in here. And then there were various bits of renovation done, but in 2014, I think a really big undertaking was started, where it was insulated and had a new floor and new kitchen. It is a community facility that just happens to be owned by the church.
So, stables to where?
The vicarage.
How many horses did the vicar have?
No idea. It was before my time.
I mean, John Wesley made do with one.
But he only had one. Yeah. It was nowhere near as big as this, though.
Okay, so great event coming up. What's the most difficult thing to organise? People.
So
people.
making sure that we've got enough people to be able to man what we want to do, what we want to happen. Yeah.
And for them to know clearly
So
what
we know
they've got to do.
we know exactly how many we need on the raffle. We know how many we need on the bar. We know how many we need on the children's games. Yeah. So because we've been doing it.
And there are safety issues as well with the car parking and
huge
and marshalling the
procession
that comes through the village over a very main road.
Very busy road.
I mean,
the car park.
even though you've got the 40-mile-an-hour limit now, which people are beginning to actually obey on pain of very heavy fines, it's nevertheless a very tight junction, isn't it? So
local PCSOs help us with that. So they help us. They stop the traffic and help us to get everybody across the road.
You haven't got to lie across the road. And,
no, not this year.
Not this year. You did it last year, and that was enough. Yeah, you're not going to do it again. Okay, I blame you. So I'm sure it's going to be a great day. You've got insurance against rotten weather, have you?
We do. It has never rained. It has never rained.
So
it was very close last year, but it never rained.
That's probably one of the first facts I remember my neighbour telling us when he was talking about this garden party, is that it doesn't matter what the weather is leading up to it, it's always dry. Last year it rained as we were packing away, wasn't it? It was completely dry before then.
So that's pretty good. So if you're an insurance company and you want to offer them a competitive rate, because clearly you're on a win-win, then you consider contacting them next year and give them a competitive premium rate. It could be worth your while. There again, it could pour a rain, in which case, hard luck, you pay out. So, what can people expect coming along to this event? Because I know it is a great event. I came last year and it's fair to say it's spectacular. So what have you got to attract people? So
we've got Audley Brass Band that are absolutely superb. We've got a very, very well sponsored bar. Beartown Brewery and Alan Finneran sponsor the bar for us. We've got a raffle that's also sponsored by Chris Hamriding and local restaurants around and about. We've got children's games, we've got lovely afternoon teas in the parish hall, ice cream.
Got a very well organised
dog show. We've got a dog show. Yeah,
and
we've got pony rides.
The tombola.
Yeah. So what you'd expect from a traditional English garden party.
Yeah.
That sounds great. And yes, you're even welcoming some of the Ukrainians
we
that have
definitely
come to live
are.
in the area.
Yeah. So They brought along last year some of their amazing cakes, so good that we've allowed them to bake again for us this year, so we want to do our bit.
And that's great. So that's a very good example of, though in fact the organisation is raising money principally to repair the road, that actually you're helping other organisations to raise a little bit of money for the work that they're doing as well.
Absolutely.
So it's wheels within wheels.
Definitely.
You might say. Any interesting stories of things that happened in the past that you'd rather not talk about?
I don't think so, no. We do always have, so our vicar normally sort of leads the procession and shows everybody where to go. We haven't got a vicar this year, so we're going to have to wing it, yeah.
Well, you're not going to rent one?
No, we're not going to, no. We are going to invite our old vicar if he'd like to come along on the day, but not to do any specific job. We have Sonia Walfield, who was instrumental in organising the garden party for years and years and years. She is our honorary president, of the garden party. We always have royalty. I think we've had royalty for as long as the garden party has been running. Let's
just clarify this. This is not the king that's turning up, is it? Well, it is a king, but
it's
not the
Eaton
king.
royalty.
Yeah.
So we've always had a rose queen, but then from 2017 we've had a rose king as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people won't know about the tradition of a rose queen. How did it start and what's it all about?
No idea.
Goodness.
Sue might
That's a
know.
good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's always
There are different versions of this.
May Queen, Rose Queen.
Yes, there's the water lily queen up at Siddington. It's just one of the traditions.
It's a villagey thing, isn't it?
Very much so.
It gets young people involved in it, and they have certain responsibilities during the day.
Yes, and not only do they get involved in our own garden party, they are then invited to attend garden parties and fetes and carnivals in other villages, so they represent their own community.
So they get more than one slice of cake?
Yes, they do get more than, yes.
So we have a lot of visiting royals as well. So we
Yes.
have visiting royals from all the local villages. Yeah.
Visiting royals without any of the fallout, you might say. So, if somebody, having listened to this, thinks, I've missed out on this before because I've never been, how are they going to get to hear about it?
Right, so we will be advertising in the Chronicle. We will be having posters displayed throughout town. All our sponsors will have posters to put up in their premises. Facebook, it's all on Facebook.
Yes.
Martin School know all about it. Obviously the local villagers inform the families. But if you don't know or don't get to see any of that, it's procession starting at 1:45 on Saturday the 13th of July from Beechwood Drive, which is just past the plough, all the way up to the church, and then we kick off at 2:00.
And this is in glorious sunshine.
Absolutely.
Absolutely guaranteed.
Absolutely,
Book the date
Yeah.
in your diaries now, July the 13th.
Yeah.
Eaton, that's the place where you slow down.
Yeah.
Where the average speed cameras are, if you don't know where it is. I mean, when I first came to Congleton, I wanted to know where the public school was.
Yes.
You know, Eaton
Long
and
way
Harrow.
away.
Yes, yeah. It's
Yes,
not
and
that Eaton.
It's not that Eaton, is it? No. In fact, sadly, of course, it has not got its village school anymore, has it?
Well, it's at Martin.
It's moved.
Yeah.
It's gone up
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah.
There was-
And a very popular school it is too.
There were seven. I think there were 7 village churches that closed.
So, Eaton, a thriving village, and I'm sure Eaton's going to turn out and support it royally, but it would be great if certainly the people from the new houses
Definitely.
come along, get to know what's happening within your patch, because living in Congleton and the area around it, we've got to be careful that we don't associate Eaton with Congleton. Very important. Eaton is Eaton. It's not Congleton. It's an opportunity for them to meet people that have lived here for a while and just to talk about things generally and be welcomed to the area, because it is a very welcoming community, isn't it?
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've noticed it since moving up, definitely.
Good.
It's definitely proper like village life. And as you say, as Eaton is expanding with all the new housing, we want to get those new people in to see what proper village
To see
lifestyle
what
are like.
proper village
yeah.
is like. Yeah.
And the is the community really, even if you're not in this like the small central bit of Eaton they were expanding, it's still that community life with the surrounding areas.
Yeah, there's more to living in a village than walking the dog, that's what you say.
Yeah.
Although the path up from Manchester Road through into Hulme Walfield is very well populated by dogs. I think the parish council's actually had to put 5 poo bins so far. You know, but that's part of what parish councils do. You know, and a couple of seats. Yeah, 3 seats. There we go.
Notice boards.
And notice boards.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of promoting the illustrious parish council. We're here talking about the parochial church council. So, a wonderful event, assured.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
You really are, as a committee. And how many on the committee?
Oh, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, there is. There are about 6 of us that sort of have a function, but then we have a lot of support as well.
A lot of supporters.
Yeah.
So it is village life at its very best, working together.
Yeah, definitely.
And putting on a great event. It's on July the 13th. The procession starts at 1:45, but strongly advise you to turn up a little bit before that. Don't try parking.
Free car parking.
I was
on
going
the field
to say,
opposite.
don't try parking, turn right into the church.
No.
There is free alternative, safer parking, and then cross the road safely.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And there will be people there to help you cross the road.
Definitely.
And the police will be there to
They
make
will.
sure that you do it when they say that you should.
Yeah. They will.
So it's going to be a great event, I'm sure. And after that, what's for the organising committee? Is it gin and tonic down at the pub?
Pims and pints.
Yeah.
Pims and pints.
Yeah.
Pims and pints and plough and fall in the heat.
A lot of people do go to the plough afterwards.
But it's worth it, isn't
Definitely,
it?
yeah. It's a brilliant event, yeah.
You get out of a community what you put into it
Exactly.
every single time. Okay? Well, lovely to met up with you tonight, and thank you for letting me sit in and see this beautifully ordered, well-run committee. It was nothing like the Vicar of Dibley. Be assured.
Oh, good.
And Congleton people, do please support these guys. They work very, very, very hard, and they put on a professionally run, typical village carnival, and it's for you. So put it in your diary, make sure you get there.
Brilliant. Thank you.